Okay, welcome everyone and good afternoon. I would ask all of you to check if their microphone is off. In fact, this is a Q&A session. All of you to ask your question at some point, but during the presentations, I would kindly ask you to leave your microphone off. Just a quick overview of the agenda from my side. So I will leave the floor to Christoph, our coordinator, very soon. And then we will have an open call presentation by Andrea Gioseffi. We'll give an overview of the open call by that as now in the second round. And then the rest of the time will be left for the Q&A session and the conclusion and next steps of the session. And later there will be time for a matchmaking session. So you can, if you want,
Katrina.
Sorry, you have an echo?
Yeah, Filippo. Yeah.
Okay, fine. You will have time for a matchmaking session where you can meet other relevant stakeholders in the AURORAL community. Okay, so now without further ado, I will leave the floor to Christoph for some welcoming remarks, and then to Andrea for the presentation. And I will explain you after Andrea's presentation a bit the rules of the Q&A. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Katarina. Yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining today. Thank you for interest in AURORAL and also in our open calls. I guess that you already know what AURORAL is about, but I will give you a very short primer. So basically, when we look at rural areas in comparison to urban areas, we have many problems here. So there are less shops, there's less infrastructure and so on. And in AURORAL, we want to fight this a bit and help rural areas to develop. And for this, we provide several things. So first, we have a working solution. So we have working technical solutions that we can give them. Next, you have business plans that we can give them. And we also help with financial support. For example, here with this open calls, but also with our Smart Tomorrow platform that will be launched after the project end. So basically what we are trying to do is we want to help rural areas by building smart communities. So we want to create smart communities, we want to support them, we have to foster them. And now we are looking for new members that we can onboard here and that we can welcome to our community, to the AURORAL community, and this is you. So I would be very happy to welcome you all on board with your project. And yeah, this is all from my side. Andrea, his stage is already yours.
Thank you, Christoph. I guess I see the presentation charging somehow. Meanwhile, hi everyone, and thank you for attending this event. I'm Andrea Gioseffi, and I will introduce you to the AURORAL open call mechanism. If we can go a bit back with a slide, yeah. And okay, as said, there will be later moment for the Q&A, so prepare your questions or just written down perhaps in the chat, and later we can go through them. We will go through them and answer your doubts. So what is the open call, the AURORAL open call about? Okay, yes, the objective is to The objective of the Auroral Open Calls is to validate, integrate, and expand, basically, the Auroral ecosystem with new smart communities and with new complementary services. In other words, the objective is twofold. From one side, the Aurora Open Calls aims to demonstrate the value of the technologies that we have produced within the project in areas beyond our own pilots. That was this when we talk about smart communities. Now it's a new communities, new areas that will adopt the Auroral solution. From the other side, the second part of the objective is to integrate the Auroral ecosystem, so the existing pilots and the existing services and platform available running on the Auroral middleware with new digital solution that will have an added value and that could be exactly compatible with the middleware and so contribute to its development and scale up. Reflecting this double objective, the call is divided in two strands. The strand A is exactly dedicated, aiming at integrating in new smart communities. As we said, we look to incorporate new areas that will validate and will adopt the Auroral technology and in this way validated it in new areas. That could be for the strand A, for the smart community, could be either a smart community already existing, or can be the smart community can be set up, can be developed through the project exactly by adopting the Auroral supplied services. For the strand B, the targeting is new complementary services, meaning it focuses on founding a new digital solution that complements the Aurora pilot. That could be, for example, a company who develop a new services, or it has already a services and decided to integrate it, to adopt it, to update it in order to integrate and to make it run on the Aurora middleware. The two strands opened in parallel. As we mentioned before, we already had one round of open call. I recognized some names in the attendees that participated in that one, that opened in October and closed last February. The evaluation process of that round already ended, so we are now in the implementation phase. The awarded project started. The second round is the one we are talking about now today, that opened in the last March on the 15th and will close at the end of this month, specifically on the 28th of June. To go a bit more into the two strands characteristic. The second call is exactly divided. They have the two strands have some similarities and some differences. The similarities are in terms of co-founding rate, because we can co-found maximum 70% of the project cost. This is an Horizon 2020 regulation. And the differences are in terms of maximum co-founding per project and in terms of consortium and eligibility criteria in general. Basically, the strand A, meaning the one targeting new smart communities, new area, is open also to the consortium. The strand B, for the complementary services, is directed only to single applicant. As per general rules, the regulation of the Horizon 2020 applies to our open calls. That is relevant in terms of eligibility criteria, meaning, and in terms of budgeting rules. On the first side, the eligibility criteria, it means that every organization that is eligible under the Horizon 2020 can participate also in the Auroral Open Calls. That is, any public or private entities, may it be for profit or no profit. And in terms of geographical provenance, origin, the organization must be registered in one of the European member states, including its outmost region and overseas countries and territories, or in one of the associated countries to the Horizon 2020 project. It's important to keep in mind that the applicants must have a must have been registered on the European Commission funding tender portal, and so basically have a peak number. Going into the specific criteria for the strand A, as we said, is open to either single applicant or consortium. In both cases, it's mandatory to demonstrate the interest of a public authority in the proposed solution. So the public authority should provide a support letter, and that is mandatory in terms of eligibility. An example of project under strand A is exactly a municipality who wants to develop an energy community in its area, that they can apply either as a consortium, a municipality with a local SME who will take care of installing the smart meters and developing all the digital aspect of it, or the SME can only apply as a single applicant, providing electoral support for from the municipality in this case. For the strand B, on the other hand, the call is open only to single applicants. That is mostly SME, but could be a university, a research center, an association, municipality, again, whatever. And in this case, the objective of this trend is to provide new solutions that are complementary to the one already existing. You can check the current status of the AURORAL pilots and what are the services that have been developed within AURORAL so far on the IoT catalog that is available on this link. And you can also find on the web page of the AURORAL project dedicated to the open calls a list of challenge from our pilot site, meaning a list of topic or solution that our pilots could be interested in acquiring through the or implemented through the open call. For the strand B, electoral support from a public authority is not mandatory, but it can give an additional point during the evaluation phase. In terms of common requirements, all the projects, either strand A or strand B, should have a maximum duration of 6 months, starting likely from August 2024. I say likely because the data are estimative, but yes, exactly we are also have to comply with our own general project timeline. So the starting will be likely in August 2024. The proposed solution must be innovative and must be mature in terms of technology and market. Indeed, we ask for a TRL. We ask for the project to reach at the end a TRL 8 or higher, that is basically near to the market technological readiness level, and is mandatory to complete the online AURORAL Academy course, that is a 6 hours e-learning that helps applicant to dive into the technology of the AURORAL middleware, how does it works, and how to create solutions that could be integrated and are compatible with it. Going forward, the eligible activities are quite simple. Basically, is whatever is needed to implement this digital solution, the new services and the new smart communities in a way that is integrated with the AURORAL ecosystem. And with the AURORAL middleware in particular. On the slide, you can see a link to the library, which contains the list of public deliverables of our project that can give a better understanding in terms of middleware architecture, KPIs expected, and pilot description. The only obligatory deliverables we ask are 2 reports, 1 interim, 1 final, and the participation in 2 meetings, a kickoff meeting and a final review / disseminating event meeting. So please try to consider travel cost in the proposal budget, because at least one of these 2 meetings will be held in person. And going to the financial condition, as we said, we can fund up to 55,000 euros per applicant, and the funding is based on a lump sum. Basically, we don't ask for actual cost. We don't ask for financial records, nothing. Only thing is to deliver what your proposal, what your project says. So the payment is divided for 30% with the interim report and 70% at the end as a balance. And of course, there is no cost justification. It's a lump sum. So you prove you do the work, you get the money. Nevertheless, you should keep in mind that you have to comply. In terms of budgeting, you have to comply with the Horizon 2020 rules. So limitation in subcontracting, for example, no, in calculating the investment cost, the capex and everything. And also you have to keep records and to comply with your national law in terms of accounting rules and other legal obligation. How does the application works? The submission happens online. There is we have a dedicated website, auroral.digitalisme.eu. There you can fill in part A of the application form directly online. That is mostly dedicated to the administrative information. So it's a description of your organization, of the consortium partners, if there are any, and some mandatory questions in terms of dataset and resources that will be used during the project. The rest of the application will be submitted as a PDF, and it mirror what are the Horizon project proposal, basically, with the 3 sections, with dedicated to excellence, impact, and implementation. And then there are a few mandatory documents that are needed in order for us to comply with the law and be allowed to found you as a third parties, and also to some others that we said as in terms of letter of support, which is mandatory under Strand A, and the Auroral Academy certificate or team member curriculum and so on. As before closing, just the last slide is a recap of links where you can find all the practical information related to this open call. So all the documentation is available on the website. We have the IoT catalog and the pilot challenges that have been already mentioned, the submission platform, the Auroral Academy, blog, and library that will allow you to better understand and deep into the technologies behind the Auroral middleware. And of course, the support desk email address that is opencalls@auroral.eu. You can write us at any time, and we will be back to you with an answer in the shortest delay possible. Say that, I guess we can leave the floor to any question. While I was talking, I already heard some ping from the chat. I don't know if it's... And I also see some raised hands. I don't know, Caterina,
Okay.
if you want me to...
No, I
you
can
moderate,
explain.
please.
Yes, so you can just raise your hand, and I will give you the floor in due time, so we don't all speak at the same time. So I see a raised hand, Pierino. You can unmute yourself.
Yes, hello. Hi to everybody. This is Pierino from BioHome. I just have one question concerning the limitations, because I think according to H2020, you cannot subcontract, or you cannot have external expenses apart from salaries that exceed 15%. I don't know if I'm wrong. How you'd manage when it's concerning a young startup where all employees are self-employed? How is this a constraint for Auroral?
I guess I can reply to that. Okay, here there is a clarification to do between the subcontracting and contracting. Meaning, if a startup hires some self-employed to produce, to deliver, to work for them, basically, on the proposal. Much more depends on how you declare them in terms of accounting. If you hire them, they as self-employed, they can fit as a personal cost. They are not subcontracting. If you hire them exactly to provide you a specific services or a specific deliverable or specific to provide you a specific deliverable, basically, they are subcontracting. Most generally, if the person you will hire is a natural person, usually is a personal cost. Yeah? Is someone you hire to do the job. If you are hiring a company, for example, to provide you for an API or for a web interface or whatever, that's much more likely to be subcontracting.
Okay, it's clear.
Yep.
Thank you.
I see questions in the chat, and I also remind all of you that the material will be indeed shared together also with the recording of the session. So I see now questions about the presentations. Yes, the presentation will be shared in the AURORAL page. You will be sent an email with all information. Another question about the academy. Anna Rita is asking, can you please quantify the effort? Any prior skills and knowledge required? I don't know who wants to answer this.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, please. Okay. So we'll also put the link into the chat. So this is the direct link to the Oral Academy. I think that many questions are already answered here. So basically it's for, it's the main target group are developers, but also others can do it. So it's not super technical, but it is intended for developers. You should be through, I think the official time we gave it is in 4 hours, but usually it shouldn't take that long. So I think that it should be, usually will be through way faster than that. And at the end, there's like a short test, and then you receive the certificate.
Okay, thank you, Christoph.
Yeah.
Then
For the prior knowledge. So if you're a developer who is aware of APIs and similar stuff, so basically in Oral we are not reinventing the wheel. So we are building everything on JSON LD and REST services. So if you have worked with them before, then it's not a problem at all. So you will feel right at home.
Okay, we don't hear you well, Christoph. Maybe you have connection issues, but I think the main point were clear. Another thing about the academy, they ask, there is a need for the academy certificate during the submission process. Yes, it is in this round mandatory to have the Auroral Academy certificate. Then there is another question by Massimo Infunti. Where can we start in order to understand better what are the services and infrastructure of Auroral from the technical point of view?
Okay, I will also answer this one. So it depends on what you are exactly looking for. So if it's just about how Auroral is working generally, then the best starting point is the Auroral Academy, because here we explain how Auroral works, how the interfacing, the adoption, everything works. If you're looking for the information about what services already are in Auroral, then there's the IoT catalog, and you can also look at our pilots page. It's everything is also linked on the Auroral Open Call page. So if you go there, you will have all the links and the full list.
Sorry, just to, I see that there are a lot of materials, but where to start from? The academy is the answer. If I should understand better the overview in general.
Yeah, I think it's best if you start with the academy, because then you already have the academy, so you have the extra point, you have the certificate, and they're like the general overview is explained.
Thank you.
I also see another raised hand.
Yeah. Yes. Can you explain what is the meaning for someone to get a certificate in Auroral Academy before the submission? I mean, why should someone learn the APIs and the technologies of Auroral if there is a risk not to get the funding and get into the utilizing the technologies? This should be done after. For those that will get into the project, they have to learn about the technologies. There is no meaning for someone to learn in advance something that may not used at all if it's not successful. Thank you.
So first, of course, you can also use the Academy as a tool. So you don't have to go completely through it. You can also only get the information that you need and then stop where you are. There also is documentation. I will also put the documentation link into the chat. And next, you get 1 extra point if you have this certificate. So there is a benefit if you do it before, because then you have the certificate and you can attach it to your proposal. There's also a place where you can upload it, and with the certificate you get 1 extra point. However, I have to say that this extra point is only applied after you pass the threshold of 10 from the 15 points. So it helps you afterwards with the ranking.
Sorry to jump in, but yeah, indeed, okay, I see the point of Homer, I guess. The main reason is, let's say, from our side, a sort of quality assurance, in a sense that having the applicants completing the Auroral Academy before submitting is some sort of assurance from our side that the proposal will actually be of higher quality and will target all the needs to integrate it and to complement the Auroral middleware. We have saw, for example, in the first round that sometimes it's already in the proposal process. It wasn't so clear, and some applications were not really taking into consideration what are the needs and what are the activities needed to, what are the resources needed in order to integrate with the Auroral middleware. So giving this overview before, at the end of the Auroral Academy is a 6 hours online course. It should not take so much time it's not a big effort to go through it and to have a general overview of how it works, is a way to also for the applicants to be sure that their proposal is relevant for our project and is indeed compatible with our objectives and our technologies.
Yeah, thanks.
Just one justification. So I've just seen that already people ask this. Sorry, I gave the wrong information. In the first round, the Academy was optional, but now it is mandatory. So the Academy is now mandatory. It's not optional anymore. Sorry. So this is wrong from my side.
Okay, I see another question about the co-funding from Anarita. Can the 30% co-funding on us be personnel cost? I mean, I imagine.
Yeah, indeed, they can be all personal costs. There is no limitation in this sense. The 70% comes that in as a cap from the Horizon 2020 rules, and the important is that your co-founding are somehow eligible cost. So yes, they can be all personal.
Support letter, what do we mean by public authority? Does it need to be a local administration? Strand B, can a support letter come from an Auroral partner? So I think there are two questions.
So for the first question, a public authority can be any public authority. So basically any public entity, but it must fit your proposal. So for example, if you're doing something with smart health, then you can also ask a hospital. But if you're doing something with smart farming, then hospital isn't a good match. Then it would be better to go for a public association that does farming stuff or to a municipality or something similar. Then for the second question, this is for strand B. So strand B is for new supplementary services. And here you can also ask, also here the letter of support isn't mandatory. So here the letter of support is also on additional, so an extra. Here we can also ask a partner from the AURORAL project for a letter of support, but not for strand A. So for strand A, here we are looking for new communities. So here you cannot ask a AURORAL partner, but for strand B, it is okay.
Okay. About the integration with the AURORAL middleware and the data services or APIs we will use or offer via AURORAL, is the link to the solutions presented in the AURORAL IoT catalog compulsory both for strand A and B? I think she means if the catalog, the solutions presented in the AURORAL catalog needs to be integrated in the application, both for strand A or strand B.
So I'm not 100% sure about what the question means, but I guess the question is if there is some kind of integration into the IT catalog. So basically, there's no technical integration into the IT catalog. It's just a web UI where you can input your solution. So you will just create a new item there and describe what you have.
Yeah, basically, if I can try to add on it, the IoT catalog give an overview of the services already available in the AURORAL pilots. So it's this relevant to give to go through it in the sense to not suggest with your proposal services that we already have. That applies, for example, for strand B. You know, the idea is to have new functionalities or other services that are not already existing within our project. In this sense, going through the catalog exactly gives you an overview and allows you to avoid overlapping and to provide and to suggest the services that we already have. For the strand A, going through the catalog could be relevant and is relevant from one side in terms also of getting acquaintance with the pilots and the use cases. So also again to not come up with a smart communities in a pilot that we already have or overlapping totally what we already are doing. And in terms of what kind of services that you could integrate in your smart communities. So if you are we are proposing under strand A something related to farm, you can go on the IT catalog and see what are the services that we have and where are they developed and if they are relevant for your case or not.
Another questions, are the kickoff and review meeting organized by AURORAL?
Yes, basically the kickoff meeting will be a general kickoff with all the awarded projects. So who passed the threshold to get the fund and is invited to this kickoff meeting. And the objective of this kickoff meeting is from one side to to kickstart the work also together, because if you have to integrate your solution with the AURORAL middleware, so it's useful to try to start to sync and to align our effort in that direction. Surely you will need some support from our side. And the second point, it's an objective of the kickoff meeting is also to facilitate a bit of networking and perhaps clustering between the approved projects. So if there are someone that works in the same areas, in the sense of mobility, and is a way to get to know each other and to create some synergies. For the review meeting, of course, is to present what you have done. Also, in that case, it's much more likely that will be some general in the sense that all the awarded project will be together presenting the results of their project.
Another question, does the integration entail any consideration regarding IPR?
So in which regard? I'm not sure in which regard here. So basically everything that you produce within this project stays yours. So you don't have to open source it, you don't have to give it to us. It's all yours. I hope this answers it.
Yeah, exactly. Also in this sense, as Christoph was saying, what applies is the horizon rules. You produce the
Yeah.
results, you are the owner of the results. If you are a consortium, thinking, for example, Strand A, and you cannot prove that you are the only owner of the results, then there are rules for the joint exploitation and so on. In terms of IPR, I can think it could be relevant in terms of data sets that are used within the project. So there, of course, there are some general rules, no, GDPR rules in terms of privacy and personal data protection. And if that's a specific question actually in the application form in the part A, when we ask about the data set and the resources, there you have to specify which kind of data are you providing, if you are the owner of the data set, or if the data set is public, or if the owner of the data set is allowing you to use it into the project. Hope it replies to
I see another
question.
question related to the Auroral Academy. Yes, the Auroral Academy is mandatory. It was not in the first round, but it is mandatory now. Then for Strand B, selected project providing complementary solutions to Auroral middleware IPR ownership of provider solutions still stays with the SMEs or with Auroral? So who has the intellectual property rights of the solutions that it's developed?
Okay, I guess that I saw Christoph disappear, but
No,
perhaps
Christoph
some
is
internet.
back.
He's back. Okay. Okay.
Problems,
Sorry.
yeah.
But again, it's as we said before. You develop a solution, you are the owner of that solution. Also in this sense, in the application form, we will ask how you if you have already in mind what is your strategy in terms of IPR patents, or you can plan to exploit the provided the solution, the complementary solution to the AURORAL middleware.
Okay. It's been asked, is the Academy already launched? It is written that it will be free after its launch. Yes, it is launched. It is on the AURORAL website, and it's free of charge. Maybe we can put a link also of the Academy. I don't know if Andrea or Christoph can do that. Also, I saw that the link to the IoT catalog has been added. Another question from Christina, is a public authority, can a public authority be a foundation?
If it is public, yes. So it
I
must be
imagine
public,
that there
not private.
are foundations that are maybe a kind of hybrid status, I imagine. I don't know if Christina wants to explain. In case.
Yes, I mean hybrid entities that are maybe private but participate by public, something like this.
Yeah, okay. What I think that what is relevant in this case is the legal status of that entities. Because if it's registered as a private entity, usually foundations are private non-profit entities, is a thing. If it's registered as a public organization, is another. Well, I guess that's what will be relevant in that case again, is to go back to the statute and see how it is officially registered in that member state, or associated country, wherever it is.
But I do believe that society that is entirely participated by public is considered by the law as a public. So that's a bit.
I guess so, but I mean, I can tell about perhaps Italian law, Belgian law, but I don't know how does it work, for example, in Norwegia or whatever. So what it relevant is the national regulation and the national legislation. Easiest thing is to go back to the statute and see how is it registered there.
Okay, Matteo, where will the project meetings be held?
Okay, for the kickoff meeting, it's much more likely that it will be held online. For the final review meeting, we still don't have a location, but accordingly to our project, to our task, we will have to organize also. We have to organize some valorization event, some moment where where the beneficiaries of the open calls can also meet in person and present their result and so on. So again, the location is not defined yet, but we will keep you informed on the calendar, and this in general this decision will be made.
Okay, I see one last question. Are overheads also included in the funding, and to which extent? Is it a fixed percentage?
Okay, is the under the Horizon 2020 regulation, the indirect cost are it was like 25%, right?
Yes, 25%.
If I'm not, yeah, 25%. So I guess you can use this as a reference percentage.
Okay, I don't see any other questions, but I would like to ask once again the audience if there is any other question. You can write it in the chat, or also just raise your hand. Yes, we will share the recording and the slides. You will receive an email with all the relevant information to rewatch the recording and to consult the slides. No other questions? Okay, so we hope that many of you will apply to AURORAL Open Call. Another reminder, the deadline is the 28th of June, end of business, and the project is expected to start in August. So you have the last 10 days to finalize your proposal and to apply. We hope that many of you will do that. I will maybe leave the floor to Christoph for some concluding remarks, and I thank all of you for participating.
Yes, there's one important thing, because many got this wrong in the first round. The contribution of the 55,000 euros that you receive is the actual contribution. So this is the money that will land on your bank account. So you won't receive 70% of this, you will receive the 55, also up to 55,000 euros. But to receive them, your project costs have to be high enough so that the 70% are at least these 55,000 euros. So just that you get this right. And yeah, and also there's no problem if you ask for the maximum amount of money, not at all. So please go for it, just that you know. Else, yeah, I would be very happy if we can greet you on board in a few months. So please submit your proposals. If there are any more questions, then get in contact. And thank you for joining today. Have a nice week and a nice day.
Thank
Bye.
you, everyone. You can contact us at the Open Calls email address anytime. Thank you and have a nice afternoon. You can also join the matchmaking session bilaterally if you want after the end of this meeting. Thank you again.
Okay. Bye.
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 Bye bye.